least it's warm in here.
Hey everybody, it's Rydo, and we are on the now, I guess, extra episode would be the right way to call it. Uh, not gonna lollygag at all. We're trying to get 5 wins with the Druid or Rogue. So we're just gonna go between Druid and Rogue. Last time was Druid, this time I guess will be Rogue. So, what I said in the last episode was a lot of rethinking, a lot of how are we gonna do recordings and such, how it's gonna work now that we're past the Goblins and Gnome expansion, and how it's gonna work when I get the information that the next expansion is on its way. And so I've taken a little bit of break. My throat was burning out on that third recording. That was 3 recordings in a row. Not a smart move. I should have done 2, taken a break, come back, done maybe 2 more a couple hours later, then taken another break if I even needed to do more. With this extra episode, my time is getting further away from your time. So that helps in case there's a longer gap in which for some reason I cannot play and record episodes. It only hurts really when I'm playing something and then a new expansion comes on and I want those new expansion things when something changes, when there's new cards, when there's a tournament or something worth talking about. When that stuff happens, I want those episodes to be live. But I'd like to avoid getting things out of order. We've already had to do that once, and it was probably noticeable. So the rubber banding part of what I decided to do, and as you can see in the past few episodes, one episode I was sticking to my old thought that I had only made up the episode or 2 before, and now I'm on to a third thought. Maybe next episode I'll be on to a 4th thought. It's very fluid. It's just thinking things through, running every scenario through my head, and trying to figure out how it will best work. So at the moment, and no guarantee it won't change again, we're going to stop recording as many. The quantity of episodes will go down once we get notice, once I have information that the next expansion, the next thing that happens that's gonna change the game. Once we get a notice of that, we're going to take down the quantity. We're going to do that in any way we can do that. So, very possibly to get the quantity down, the duration, how long episodes will go up. On top of that, but not really related, I decided to rebalance episodes. Because there are challenges that require 5 wins, it doesn't make sense to do a hard 3 wins. It really doesn't. Because then we're guaranteeing that I will never, on any episode except for the marathon episode and possibly an extra episode like this, those would be the only times that you'd actually accomplish those goals, those quests. Because you never, even if you get 3 wins in a row and run, if you end the episode, there's still 2 more wins that need to be done. So to adjust for that,
I don't have enough mana.
Here we go. At least for this week, doing 5 wins. I think 5 is probably more even in general, getting the episodes a little bit more even. So first episode 5, second episode 5, marathon episode at least 5.
Handle it!
Although it doesn't have to be at least 5. If I get everything done in 3, the marathon episode could potentially be shorter. There's not a ton of motivation on my part to keep playing after I get all the quests
We
done.
must cleanse the Sunwell.
After I get all the quests done, I like to just call it a day as far as all that, and play again when I get 3 more quests later.
Vaporization commencing!
Here we go.
So, let's see where we're done. So, we're gonna try to do a hard 5 episodes, 5 games per episode. We're going to try and space recording episodes out. Everything kinda needs to be recorded in one day. Otherwise, I'll get another quest and then I'll have to just play more the next day. So that'll just make more episodes, even more than I really would prefer. But I'm going to try and space them out. I'm going to try and do 2 episodes, take a break, 2 episodes. If I still, after those 4 episodes, want to play and haven't given up, because the give up option is after the 3rd episode, really. You probably could even give up after the 2nd episode. I mean, I could give up on the 1st episode if I felt like it and just have one Hearthstone episode for the week. But that would lose me potential gold from completing quests. And that's why we're doing quests. That's why quests are there, is that they're pushing me to play this game more than even I would prefer.
You to master.
So the goal in this episode is we just want to finish up that quest. That is the only thing we've got to do. So we've got to get 4 wins between these 2 characters. I'm gonna try and go as far as long as we can. I'm getting silent. I talked about just not talking as my throat got worse in the last episode, and I don't know. I messed up an Isaac episode by not talking and playing. When you go silent, it's pretty difficult to do anything at all. I could handpick music and put it over this through YouTube, which is kind of a nice feature, but then you would have to listen to my music choices, and there's not a lot of reason for you to do that. If you were gonna listen to music, you should just mute me and listen to music. Just mute this video, watch it like that. That does not hurt my feelings in any way, if you chose to do that. I listen to lots of podcasts and lots of YouTube videos, and don't watch it all or just listen to it while I'm doing something else. Playing and commenting, I actually can't do that, because then you just over here, you'd be just listening to the background of other people's creations, and it'd be too noisy. So I've actually fallen behind on podcasts, but that's alright, because by the time I started recording, a lot of the podcasts don't matter, a lot of them are not that interesting, and that's a huge generalization, but I burned out on some of them. Let's see, spell damage, spell damage.
Here we go.
am I going to be able to do anything? I would really like that card that does, like, destroys your weapon and does the same amount of damage to everybody. That would turn this game around.
Minions,
Down to 9.
servants, soldiers of the cold dark, obey the call of Kel'Thuzad.
Kel'Thuzad. Difficult guy to have to fight against. He is going to bring back every creature that dies at the end of the turn. So, what do I need to do to win this? Deal 3 to an undamaged minion. Well, if I don't kill this guy, there's no point at all of even
Here we go.
fighting. So, I can either kill Kel'Thuzad and lose in 2 turns, or lose in 1 turn.
Crush! No,
Kinda don't want this, but it's really the only choice. If I don't get him off the field, he'll be doing his 7 damage.
return.
Here we go.
I could bring it back and waste that, but I
Well
guess I won't.
Choose soon.
All he's got to do is do probably 2 more. He's probably already won. Look, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 9 already there, plus 2 more.
To my side.
He's just playing all these cards. And I've lost yet again. What kinda sucks about Hearthstone is that there is no way for me to stop playing it without it being slightly a disappointment. Druid's turn this time. And what I mean by that is they are going to give me a new quest every day of the year, including holidays, including everything. If I decided I wanted to do some other game series, which I could very easily, in fact, very quickly
You asked
even,
for it.
it's
I must
possible,
protect
but
the wild.
we'll see. If I wanted to put this on the back burner, if I wanted to just not do 2 games a day, if I wanted to do anything, leaving Hearthstone in particular is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt getting the gold a little bit. Be kinda cool if I could hand it off to somebody else, but why would somebody else make videos for my channel? Why not them just make their own channel? So it would be a very hard break. Maybe we will make that hard break.
Wait and fish all day.
It's been a frustrating run today. I'll say that much. That it's a little frustrating dealing
For the
with
wild.
so many quests, having to make an extra recording.
Caught one.
That it's frustration that will definitely kick me out of Hearthstone. Maybe I should sit down and think why Hearthstone frustrates me so much and Isaac doesn't. I mean, Isaac kicks my butt almost as much as Hearthstone does, but I don't know. You lose more in Hearthstone. You definitely lose more. That losing doesn't feel fun to anybody. Even an old person like me, who knows losing is just part of the game. If it's a fair game, 50% of the time you have a good chance of losing, 50% of the time you have a good chance of winning. It stops becoming a fair and fun game if you become an expert at it and you always win. After a while it does, at least. and it stops becoming a fair and fun game when you always lose. And we're kind of in that point where it's just I always lose. I don't always lose. It's not true. It just feels that way. It just feels that way.
For the wilds.
Job done. Caught one.
Somewhat related to that thought, I was thinking about other styles of games to play and how they would work on YouTube. We have started off in a strange with two really good games to put on YouTube because they go on forever. There's legitimate reasons to keep playing it. There are a lot of YouTube streamers that do like, I'm gonna play the Ocarina of Time for the 5th time on my channel, and I'm not trying to insult that or anything. It's just, there's not going to be anything much different. Maybe he'll do it a few seconds faster this time, but if you've already played a game once,
You must cleanse the sunwell.
there needs to be several years in between the next time you play it for there really be that, in my mind, a kind of a nostalgic revisit. If you're just nostalgically revisiting the game over and over again, I'm not sure how many people are going to really want to watch that just on that question alone. So, like, some people do speedrun. Some people still playing Mario Bros. 1 in speedruns. Some people out there, I haven't seen them on YouTube, but there are people out there that do speedruns of Pac-Man and old arcade games. I'm not sure if they do it, post it, the video of it though. That would be something to research, I guess. Are there people playing arcade games and putting the video up? There's a that
Sometimes
documentary, King of Kong or King of Quarters. Maybe that's not even the name. There was a documentary that came out a few years back about the guy trying to beat the world's high score of Donkey Kong, and that was pretty interesting to watch. Yeah. But if somebody was playing, that's a great example though, because he was playing like 12-hour runs straight on an actual Donkey Kong arcade machine, and he had to record it for posterity, but he wasn't, as far as I know, he never posted any of that onto YouTube for regular people to watch. Let's see. Should have attacked with that guy. That was dumb. Anyways.
Job's done.
So, I'm taking a really long time to get to this. I was thinking about playing Bastion. Let me just throw out the game first off. I've played Bastion once, and then I played halfway through Bastion the second time about a year later. And it's been probably only about 6 months since then. So my thought would be, how would I put Bastion up on YouTube as a series? Because it would be a very different game and style of game than what you've seen of me so far. Bastion is a straight through thing. You can replay levels, but there's not a lot of reason to. Really not a lot of reason at all to play Bastion more
Well
than
played. Push forward.
more than just all the way through once. It is it is story based. It has a unique mechanic where there's a narrator that narrates the things you're doing. Uh, it looks really complicated and cool. It's not as complicated and cool as you think it is, but it's it was a great new concept that nobody had ever done before, really. Well, not done it in a long time. Old point and click adventures used to say you picked up a cup, and I suppose that's like you're narrating what you're doing. But Bastion, that's an actual actor's voiceover mentioning it as you're actually doing things. But Bastion would be a story thing. There are 2 endings to Bastion, so you could, I think the branch is pretty close.
Amira versus Jaina.
Playing it all the way from the beginning
Your
versus doing save scumming would add more time to it. Of course, I could just look up the walkthrough, save the game at the point where the branch decision is, and then load one to show one ending, load the other to show the other ending to save time if I was trying to save time. Not sure I'm ever going to have the goal to save time. From my perspective, this is what I am doing now is as close an equivalent I could make to what Fox or ABC or CBS or NBC does. They, every night on weekdays, show 3 hours of 3 different shows. Sometimes you have locals, your local people will put news in one of those hours, but still that's something. So at the moment, I'm putting just 2 sometimes less than 1 hour shows on every day. And on the other side of the argument, I'm doing nothing on the weekends. In that thought, TV stations don't, well, they would love, and I would love it too, for my case, for people to watch all 3 of those hours every day of the week, and whatever they do on the weekends. And by the way, watch all the reruns and daytime shows that they also throw in there. While people would love that, they don't really expect that to happen. They expect people to like 1, maybe 2, maybe all 3 of the shows on a few nights. But most people don't. Most people don't sit every day and watch all the primetime show. Is that the right way to go about it? Probably not. We could cut back, I think, with no penalty really at all. It would just take longer to get further along. And there'd probably be a drop-off of people. As the game becomes less new, there'd probably be a drop-off of people interested in watching it.
Here we go.
So, we'll also start now on this channel, so this is my first channel. So filling it up with video to start off with, I think is the right move. I think a channel with 100 videos in 3 months will be more appealing than a channel that has 100 views after a year or 2 years or 3 years, because then at least you know I can produce. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTubers out there that, well, I've even seen a few that they produce something every 6 weeks or whenever they get around to it, and that's fine. I can subscribe to them and look at their new things when they come out, but often that leads me to going through my channels and looking at the things I'm subscribed to, and there just never is anything new on them.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
So, to get back to my point, I've really got to think. Comments, suggestions would be helpful. These recordings are so far behind, I probably would already made the decision. But that doesn't mean you can't change my mind. There's always the opportunity to change my mind. So, if somebody comes back and says, gives a much better suggestion on how to do something, I'd be willing. I'm definitely willing to listen to it. I'm definitely willing to think about how I can improve it. But how to do a story-based game, like a one-run game. I'm never gonna do shooters, but if you thought, as Halo is an example, since Halo is a popular game, Halo and a lot of the shooters have a single-player side, and then they have a multiplayer side. So far, I've shown, or I hope I've proven, that I know how to do the multiplayer side. I could, if I played shooters, which I don't, so don't ask, but
We must cleanse
if you were
the
gonna put
Sunwell.
Halo on the YouTube, you could do multiplayer all the time. You could just play multiplayer several rounds a day, record it, and put it up. But to do Halo, the story part, you can do it once. You could do it maybe twice if there's a different ending on Halo. I don't think Halo does have different endings. Now, I've said a couple times that I don't play shooters. I have played Borderlands. I liked Borderlands 1. I still kind of like Borderlands 2. I'm not playing any of the other new Borderlands at the moment. I think Tales from the Borderlands might work a little bit if I was going to do a straight through run. But on YouTube, that would be a whole series, I think. Hearthstone, Isaac, we're doing episodes because we know we're going to play it. There would be episodes, but there would be a final episode if I was doing a story-based game.
Protect the wild.
I would just go through the whole game once, maybe twice if there's a second ending. But after that, that would be it, and then we would be either back to playing Hearthstone if we stopped playing Hearthstone to play some other game, or back to playing Isaac if we stopped playing Isaac to play some other game. But it would be kind of a mini-series type thing, limited run, whereas these games could go on forever. Hearthstone could go forever. Isaac could go forever. It's gonna beat me down more than I'm gonna beat it down as far as frustration and all that. How many games have I played? Maybe I should call these episodes, if I'm going to continue doing these episodes, the last chance episodes. If we're gonna do
If you're sure.
a fourth episode in the day,
Job's done.
maybe I should call them the last chance episodes. Because I'm feeling it. I've been getting frustrated with this game pretty much as soon as I started recording. Pretty much 5 seconds into the game today, when they said I had to win 5 wins on all those guys. I have been feeling the frustration. And I think I'm ready to surrender. I'm starting to want to say this is the last game of this episode. This is the last episode of the section.
My steel!
And we're gonna just
Job's done.
go in a couple more days. So it won't be a 3-day break. It will only be a 2-day break for me in that case. That's what happens when I don't get a quest finished. I suppose I could close that quest and get another day, but that would be a waste. Starting to feel like that's what I want to do. I wish I loved this game as much as I loved Isaac, because I could really end this episode and just go play Isaac, and I really wouldn't feel too bad about it.
Taste my steel!
I've played a lot of games today. A lot of games. Played probably at least 20. At least 20 games. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. If we did 3 and we did 8 and we did 5, we did 3 on the first one, we did 5 on the second one. If we did 5 on the third one, and we've done 5 here. Let's see. We'd be close to 18 at this point. I don't know if that's the right number or not. I don't really care to check. But it feels like we've played 20 games.
Job's done.
A win here. I don't even know if a win is going to build up my morale enough to keep going. It'd be really nice if a win here somehow got me 5th
The
win.
gates are open.
I don't think we're anywhere close to that.
I hope you like my invention.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to finish this game. I may have to surrender. Just surrender, concede, give up in the game, give up for recording for today. We will be back. I'm not gonna just rage quit, but it is definitely pushing me towards that. Yeah. So this is gonna be the first concede. Hopefully not the first of many. But
I see everything.
But I'm done. I'm done for the day. They've beaten me down. Well, I'm kind of winning too. If I can get them down to 5, maybe I can pull this off. Maybe I can pull this off.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
For the wild.
So this guy's gonna get more damage each time. Let's see if we can play this out. This is almost definitely the last game. But let's see if we can play this out. Let's see if we can get a win. Take the burden off when we come back in a couple of days.
Just me and Mr. Bite.
So he has every reason to want to use life tap. That's not what I wanted him to do. We need him to use life tap. We need him to do it 4 times. Get down to 5. If I could get another one of these starfires. Do I even have another starfire?
I'm flying!
He valued his taunt here more than a 2-attack creature. Slightly interesting choice. This card's gonna be wasted. Doesn't matter. I need this guy to take some more damage. Do something to damage yourself just a little bit more.
For Nomrica!
Don't mess with Tusker.
This guy's actually down to 2. Oh, did I have stuff I could have used there? Could I have been using this to give myself armors and all that? I don't know. Barely paying attention. I need him down 2 more. If he's just down 2 more, that's all it takes. So if he taps and gets down to 7 and he takes 2 more damage somehow, anyhow, then I can play this 5 damage and win. But anything he does here, there's a good chance he's gonna win.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
It's got me down to 1. Couldn't figure out a way to do 1 more. Oh, yes, good. Man! Oh, man, if I had played this card, it would have been a tie. Would have been a tie. I should have played that at some point. I think you would have seen that coming now. Anyway. I'm just battered and broken. Let's see. I don't think I've ever closed one of these. You have this X option. We've won 1. We could spend, in a couple days, we could spend even more recordings doing this. It's not a good deal. 60 gold for 5 wins is a lesser of a deal. So this is going to be a first for me. I'm just going to close it. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to surrender it. And I closed it, and it just changed. Win 5 games with a rogue or warrior. It was win 5 games with a rogue or druid. Now it's saying I can play as a warrior. But I lost that one. Can't close that. No X there. So this is the first last chance episode. I don't know if it's was really worth it to make yet another episode on top of the marathon episode. I mean, if I want to record more after recording 3 episodes of Hearthstone, maybe I should just go play a different game. We didn't make any progress at all. Well, there's little progresses in leveling up the creatures, the heroes and such, but no real progress to speak of. We did learn something here, that you can't exit. I thought when you exited, clicked X, it would go away and I'd have to come back in 3 days. I was hoping that would give me 1 more day to not play, but So, plan is to come back in a couple days and try this again. Maybe I'll be feeling better about Hearthstone that day. Just from the beginning, seeing win 5 games, and then it was summon 30 minions, which we could do that fine. Come back in a couple days, we'll probably do another arena run. Probably just gonna ignore this. We'll just ignore it. We'll try and work on it. Am I always gonna do a last chance episode if the marathon episode goes long? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. I don't think it really helped. And so if this might just be a shining example of people saying, why don't you play more and do one more episode? If anybody's ever thinking that, it doesn't really work that way. I get defeated. I am defeated. I am beaten down by losing so many games today. 20 games, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when each game takes 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. This has been a miserable failure. See you next time. Hopefully next time's better. Bye.